Hi everybody, Nick McDonald speaking. I am back in action after a few weeks away from the market and feeling very good about the market and these trends that are in place. The Russell is looking very, very nice indeed. Let's go back to the start of the year where we forecast that we'd get up and test these highs. Certainly this year, it's now looking like it will happen a lot sooner than I was thinking at the start of the year. We've smashed up through this resistance at 800. We've now got the chance for a very nice pullback into that level and looking for a test up at 860 and beyond to break up through these highs. That's going to be significant. If we zoom out on this daily chart and just look at it, those are major, major, major highs. I actually want to just jump over and look at some of the other index markets and then come back to the Russell. So just bear in mind we've got a bit of room to move. We can pull back to the support and pull up into that resistance, and that's going to be a break up to new highs there on the Russell. Let's just come and have a look at the Dow and have a look at where this is, because the Dow is just coming up and testing highs right now. Just going to compare these on the daily charts first of all. And looking here on the daily, so we're coming up here. We've actually just nudged to new highs ever so slightly, and you can see we just broke up, we failed, and we've pulled back. The issue is actually more when we put this into some perspective on the weekly chart. We'll zoom in a little bit here and just see we're approaching 13,000. So 13,000 is big, big resistance, likely to cause a bit of a sell-off. So see on the weekly, not only is there resistance coming up, but we also are some way overextended from the weekly averages. We're due a pullback into the zone, at least around the 10. So whenever we are extended from the averages and due a pullback, I'm always looking for potential resistance levels where this might happen, and certainly at 13,000 or around 13,000 is a pretty good level for that to happen on the Dow. So going to make me a little bit cautious in the very short term as to how far stocks could pull back before pushing on again. None of this will change my long-term view, by the way. Long-term, I'm still remaining very, very bullish as I have been for many months. Coming forward now and looking at on the S&P. Similar, because we've got a big level of 1350, so we have 13,000 on the Dow, there's 1350 on the S&P, and there's probably an even bigger level in terms of a support and resistance level. Not completely precise on these touches back here, but undoubtedly a key area, and right through here in 2010, 2011, some really key resistance. We're up there now. We're even more overextended than the Dow in terms of we haven't had a pullback for, we've got 5 up weeks in a row there. We're now into the 6th week, and just due this little bit of a pullback here back towards the averages, maybe back into a little bit of support back at these highs. So similar kind of to what we saw in the Russell, just coming and looking at it on the Nasdaq, this is really smashed up. 2 highs, broken right up through, but definitely overextended now, had a really good rally up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks in a row, overextended, due a pullback here. Would be a great place to be pulling back. If we pull back into about 2,400, the averages will catch up. Nasdaq would be very, very bullish. But ultimately, all of those looking like they're due a bit of a pullback. So when we come and look at this on the Russell actually looks very, very bullish from here. Now it could, on the daily chart, now it could rally from here, absolutely 100% it could. However, I think the focus is slightly, leaning towards a bit more of a pullback. Now I think that the Russell is too strong to pull right back into these averages. So if we look at it on a weekly chart, we could say, well, this is likely to pull back into 770, back into this, really strong support level. If it did do that, it would be a really, really nice looking long trade. My feeling is it probably won't do that. It'll be a more shallow pullback. But certainly, like I say, if it did pull back that far, I'd be certainly looking for any reason to get long down around that level, because it would be a great trading opportunity. Actually, what I'm thinking is more likely, though, is just a little bit of a deeper pullback from here on the daily chart, probably into around 800. Now, it might even go a little bit beyond 8, but I'm looking for it to hold 8. So it might fall beyond and then reject it quite quickly. That might happen over the space of a day or even a week. But I want to see it come down and find some support around 8. That's where I'm looking for my next trading opportunity. I definitely will not be looking to short it on the way down. We're only 13 points away from there now. It would be, I believe, on the longer term, silly to be shorting this when the momentum is so strong. But we're looking for trading opportunities down around there, around 8. And I think we'll be coming up and testing this 860 region sooner, as I said at the start, sooner than originally expected. I think we could be there within not too much time at all, especially considering the Nasdaq has already broken its highs and the S&P and the Dow are both already testing their highs right now. Then the Russell in that case is the lagger, and with a bit of a pullback here, we'll be looking to come on and push on and catch up and break up through, or at least be testing those highs. So very, very bullish, looking around about 800 on for a shorter term trade. If that doesn't set up, or if it doesn't actually hold there at all and it continues, then obviously looking down here on the weekly chart around about 765 to 770, giving us a really, really strong area to be, really strong support and resistance area, going to be in those weekly averages, and we'll be looking for a very nice opportunity from there. Just clarifying this on the higher time from the monthly chart, continues to be bullish. We've had this pullback, talked about this for many months now. We had these 3 bullish candles, and now we're just really pushing on with that momentum we should have, and very rarely in this kind of circumstance will this slow down too much before it has broken up through these highs and made a new high. If it did do that, we'd be quite concerned about the trend, but for now the trend is intact, nothing telling us the trend is likely to win. I remain very bullish on both the medium term and the longer term. Just in the shorter term, expecting a slightly deeper pullback. Remember, this could happen in a day or two, so I'm very short term bearish, and then looking for a turnaround either at 800 or 770 and a push back up to be testing these highs again. Happy trading all. I hope that helps, and I'll speak to you on next week's update.